The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the world's longest-running and most complicated. Its origins may be traced back to the late 19th century when the Zionist movement advocated for the formation of a Jewish state in Palestine. Violence, displacement, and a lack of settlement have characterized the war. The war is still unsolved in 2023, and emotions between Israelis and Palestinians remain high. The two sides have opposing future visions, and there is minimal trust between them. Israeli point of view. Israelis see themselves as the indigenous people of the land of Israel, with a claim to sovereignty over the whole region. They further remind out that the UN decided in 1947 to divide Palestine into two nations, one Jewish and one Arab. The Arab nations, however, rejected the partition proposal and went to war with Israel in 1948. The Israeli government is governed by a right-wing coalition led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu is a hardliner who has been vocal in his opposition to the formation of a Palestinian state. Israelis feel that the Palestinians have repeatedly rejected peace offers and continue to assault Israel. They also say the Palestinian Authority, which oversees the West Bank, is corrupt and oppressive. Palestinian point of view. Palestinians regard themselves as the indigenous people of Palestine, with the right to self-determination. They also refer to the United Nations' repeated calls for the creation of a Palestinian state based on the 1967 boundaries. President Mahmoud Abbas leads the Palestinian Authority. Abbas is a centrist who has backed peace talks with Israel. He has, however, been chastised by both Israelis and Palestinians for his inability to reach a peace accord. Palestinians see Israel as an occupying force that has unlawfully grabbed their land and established colonies on it. They also point out that Israel's siege of Gaza has resulted in a humanitarian disaster. Violence in this conflict in 2023, which created panic. January, Islamic Jihad launches rockets at Israel after Israeli soldiers attack a West Bank refugee camp, killing 7 Palestinian militants and 2 civilians. Israel replies by launching airstrikes on Gaza. July, Israel starts a huge military operation against suspected terrorists in the West Bank city of Jenin. More than 140 Palestinians, including civilians, were killed as a consequence of the operation. In October, from the Gaza Strip, Hamas launched a surprise assault on Israel, launching a barrage of missiles and deploying militants over the border. Israel replies by launching airstrikes on Gaza. What are the barriers to peace in this conflict? There are many impediments to Israeli-Palestinian peace, including the Jerusalem issue. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital. East Jerusalem, which contains several Muslim and Christian holy sites, has been seized by Israel. Palestinians want East Jerusalem to be their future state's capital. The problem of refugees. During the 1948 Arab-Israeli War and subsequent wars, millions of Palestinians were uprooted from their homes. Under international law, Palestinians have the right to return to their homes, but Israel has refused to allow them to do so. The settlement issue. Israel has created hundreds of settlements in the West Bank, which are illegal under international law. The settlements are a key impediment to peace because they make establishing a contiguous Palestinian state impossible. What is the international community doing? The act of violence has been denounced by the international diplomatic community, and both parties have been urged to exercise caution. On the other hand, there hasn't been much of a breakthrough in terms of finding a long-term resolution to the dispute. The United Nations Security Council has been unable to come to an agreement on a resolution, and the United States has prevented any move to submit the war to the International Criminal Court. The absence of action on the part of international organizations is simply serving to make the situation more dire. It will become more difficult to find a solution to the problem the longer it continues. The international community has an immediate responsibility to take decisive action in order to put a stop to the bloodshed and find a peaceful and equitable resolution to the crisis. What's next? The Israel-Palestine issue is complicated and tough, with no quick answers. Both parties have valid complaints, and there is a lack of confidence between them. It is vital to remember, however, that millions of Israelis and Palestinians desire to live in peace and security. The international community may have a role in resolving the dispute. The UN and other international organizations may exert pressure on both parties to participate in serious discussions. The international community may also help construct a sustainable Palestinian state by providing financial and technical aid. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a complex and challenging issue, but it is one that cannot be ignored. The international community must take urgent action to bring an end to the violence and find a just and lasting solution to the conflict. Finally, it is up to Israelis and Palestinians to settle their differences. The international community, on the other hand, may play a supporting role in assisting them in achieving a fair and enduring peace. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.